Girl gamer.
Hi, this is Rudy Chavez, and I have with me here Rudy J. Ferretti and my wife Kimberly S. Chavez, and we would want to discuss about No Princess in the Castle, or the people that they added and the people that were excluded that they should have been added in the film, and we'll point out the main issue towards this, because I feel strongly that other people should have been placed in it and not to be put just in the credits. If you pay for $10,000 just to put in some kind of ending credit or something, so let me go ahead and pass to Rudy. So hey, how you doing, Rudy Ferretti?
Good. Glad to be here. Glad to help out with this because people need to be aware. I think that what people are not realizing, first off, this film is totally, about feminism and feminists, reason being because it's totally about females, which makes it sexist right off the bat, which also makes it hypocritical for the people that are producing it. Kat Delightia, Cedric Snott Peterson, and the person who is producing this movie. He's produced several other movies. He's had one failed Kickstarter. He's never supported a Kickstarter any day in his life. He's left out good people that are actual gamers, like Kimberly Chavez, who's here on the line with us. She's going to speak here in a moment. He's left out actual real gamers and people with real talents. He's taken his favorite friends and people that have no skill, no understanding of the industry, and that have hurt plenty of people in the industry. And you guys should not support No Princess in this Castle. And there are some people there that are notable, about 2 or 3. The rest of them are basically all sellouts, including some people that I actually know personally, which I'm not happy that they joined this film. From there, I think I've made my, standard point clear. And also, of course, the people that are involved in this film have done a lot of damage to gamers like myself and other people. Kat Delightia, Cedric Snott Peterson, Splatter Hussey, the list goes on and on. Who wants to start off first? Rudy, Kimberly?
Kimberly, what is your take to this? I mean, do you feel strongly that how do you feel strongly that is it okay for a female to put in makeup and and model herself because she games, or what are the facts to you? Can you describe me the facts to this? Let me say this. What is a female gamer?
I would say, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. I would say a female gamer would be someone like myself. I'm pretty much been gaming all of my life since '86. I went from NES to Genesis, whatever platform there is. I've done it all pretty much, and I'm passionate about gaming. I have a channel that's on YouTube. I game for fun. I'm not even getting paid for the runs that I do. I do it because I love gaming. Now, the film, it seems to be like a lot of the artwork that I see, like Metroid and Zelda, seems to be geared more toward retro gamers. But I don't see too many. I only see a few faces, like Rudy said. There's only a few faces and females, even a couple of females that I know on there. Only just a few. The rest of them, I have no idea who they are or where they come from, or if they even represent retro gaming or gaming period, Mm-hmm. I just would like to see more retro gamers on the scene, people that's been in the gaming industry for many years, some people that's done things toward gaming, great things toward gaming in this film. And I've only seen just a handful of girls that actually deserve to be there. So, and me, I've been gaming for all my life, and I do my runs for fun, and I post my work on there that I do. I also show collections of games that I collect, my favorite characters, all of the above, just pretty much my take on how much I love gaming. I would just like to see them put girls on there who actually love gaming as a sport. From whether they game as a childhood, whether they game from NES, or whether they game from PS1 or whatever, I want to see more of that on there, and I just don't see it. I only see a handful of girls. you know, and it's kind of disappointing to me as a gamer that I don't see more real retro gaming girls on there that actually have love for the game, you know?
Exactly. This is supposed to be a film about women who game in the history. How can you make a video of fucking history or movie of history when it's not real true history? They're leaving certain people out that actually play. I've seen your channel. I know you can play. And I can qualify that because I know how good I am, and I see somebody else play at the same type of level I play. I can tell. But besides that, you also, these people that are involved in this film have accused me falsely of stalking them when they've stalked my page repeatedly. They have made fun of me and made jokes about me. They have sandbagged against me and pushed other gamers to play scores that I've had of games that I can't, get my hands on to get the scores back and such. They have lied about numerous things and have, there's former refs in there of Twin Galaxies that have cheated and sandbagged scores that are in there, created fictitious characters. There are people in that film that have pretended to be my friends, and then I caught them in private conversations with other people going behind my back saying I'm a loser and all this other stuff. A person that plays so-called SOCOM is like 1,000th in the world, and she thinks she's a professional gamer, and she thinks that she's some kind of history of gaming. She has no clue. I mean, she's in her 20s on top of it. She's very young and green. I've been there. I've been young and been there. And this has to stop. I mean, I'm glad that the Kickstarter project is already failing anyway. I don't want to see this movie made, and I get what you're saying, Kimberly, that you would like to see more of, the retro gamer girls and such, but they're going to add people that are basically going to, so to speak, suck them off and do what they want to do to promote them. I'm not one of those people. You're not. Rudy Chavez is not, and hopefully a lot of other friends of mine are not. Again, I'm very offended by the film because they keep saying, again, it's about women who game. How about people who game? And plus, they have guys in there. Cedric Snot Peterson, the idiot who changed his name, named after the Triforce, triangle, okay? Who are they, really? When did they start gaming? I know I started in 1985 or 86 myself. A lot of these people claim, well, they started in 81, they've been around. You know what? You go look at their accounts. They came into the scene well after the King of Kong. Some of them came in a year or two before the King of Kong. Oh, wow, yippee-doo, I've been around in the competitive scene since 2002. I didn't come in 2001. I'm not going to lie and say I was around in the 90s. I wasn't. I was home playing. I did a couple of competitions, things like that, I don't, mislead the public. You've got people in this film that have lied about their scores, lied about their history, lied about their accomplishments to the public, and then bash the public for it after when they get called out on it. Why should we support people like that hurt others and leaving people out like yourself? Now, we know you're going to get a knock now on your door or on your Skype or, of course, on your YouTube page. Oh, yeah, come join us. Absolutely, come join us. Will you please join us? Join us, Kimberly. We want you on. We just didn't know. We didn't know you were out there. Yeah.
Well, let me say this. If you're going to do any kind of documentary, then you have to be, it has to be thoroughly. You have to do a thorough research to it. You know what I mean? Like an example, when a journalist is, let's say, is in a wartime, he's gonna have to say the truth, or that person could get into a lot of trouble, right? A journalist.
Of course, that's a big problem. These people don't do their research. Kat Delighty and Cedric Snot Peterson have lied and said that Splatterhussy was the first person to set a world record on Splatterhouse in 30 years, the first woman in 30 years to set an arcade record, mind you, which is not the truth at all. Somebody did it in 2007, and then what did he say? He made a mistake. Just like he made mistakes on scores and everything else, and she said she made mistakes. And then they'll post stuff, criticizing me and making up lies about me, and then when I call them out on it and catch them on it, they try to delete it or deny it and make up a story like it never happened. And I'm sick of that. Why should we support people like that, evil? Why do we support axes of evil that are running a Kickstarter program that's fraudulent, misleading, incomplete information, and incomplete characters? Oh, big deal. So they're starting to put a couple of so-called celebrities in there. Well, so I don't care to see celebrities in a film. I want to see stars. Stars are different than celebrities.
Well, let me approach this in a very different method. An example, let's say you were playing baseball with a kid that doesn't know how to play baseball, right, very well, right? And
Right.
you want to be nice to not, like, obviously not to throw all your skill, you know what I mean, on him. And let's say at the baseball, of course you're gonna beat him, but sometimes people will like to do is to fake it. That way they could feel good to themselves. You know what I mean, right? So you don't
Right.
wanna you don't want to be mean and challenge that person, like an example, and make it seem like they're nothing. You know, like an example, if you want to encourage. And I think sometimes what happens, what I mean by that is sometimes I think a person wants to encourage that person to make them feel like champions and all that. You know what I mean? In good faith, or to make them feel happy. It's just sometimes what I think could happen is it might spiral out of control. Like if a person's trying to do something for someone nice, and then what happens is that then it can spiral out of control, because if someone throws logic into it, you get what I mean by that, right? When I say logic, that all of a sudden it's going to say, oh, that's not true. You're going to say, oh, well, how let's just say example, how is a kid of let's say a 10-year-old kid is going to compare the same league as a baseball player. You know what I mean? Well, MLB, I think it's called. What's it called?
Major League Baseball.
Baseball.
Exactly. They put people. You know, can you imagine putting some idiot in a Major League Baseball league that played for 1 or 2 years because they were what do you call it, shooed in by somebody? They would be horrible. And that's the thing. They're putting people in this movie that have never set a world record on a game, don't have the skills to game, or claim they're gamers and collectors with no evidence to show of it. Or, because they set a world record on some game or something because they beat me by some, setup or something like that. Or, they just pretend that they've done something that they never did.
Well, yeah.
It's unfair.
Yeah, but you see what I mean, right? That's why the professional is going to lose purposely to make that other person look good. Because they want to show that they care. It's like an example. You get what I mean, right? An example, if a person's someone did a good deed, and let's say the TV media, let's say the news, comes up to you, oh, I heard you I don't know, you picked up the trash, you picked up all the trash from LA, what you did was really good, so how we want to go ahead and nominate you for that. You get what I'm saying, right? Which is not really a big deal, but they just choose to make it a big deal.
Well, again, I must stress this again. I mean, if people want to talk about that, that everybody's sexist and everything, which, Kat Delightia says 475 times a year, I'm going to say the same thing about this film. It's all about ladies. It's all about women who game. Well, then it's a sexist film. Why should it be about only females? Why shouldn't it be about gamers? Well, why not make the film about gamers and stop calling it, what they're calling it? I'm just saying, if the world is equal, it should be about all colors, all races, and the movie should be about men and women, not just 2 or 3 idiot men in the gaming scene. I'm talking about...
Oh, Mama, don't laugh.
An equal amount. An equal amount. Whether you like them or hate them, they should be invited to the film. People that have the skills and the talents and the understanding of the industry and have been around well before them should be in the film, not them.
Right.
Right. Well, I agree. Well, the thing is, like example, what I think it happens is let's say the author, the person, the producer, they have the power to make their decision because it's theirs. You know what I mean? They don't have. Sometimes what happens, they don't have to use actual facts. Well, it's like saying, well, you know what? This film is the way I present it. This is the way I view it, and this is the way it is. The problem is, it starts to clash with reality. You can't say that that's actual until you get the actual facts. You know what I mean? Yes, there women gamers in a way is a rare breed in some aspect, but there's always been female gamers, just the same as males. It's just not really talked about. I think is that I think it could be part of favoritism. While they only choose these females that they feel they are worthy for the title for their documentary movie. and not include others that are actually worthy of it. So it's like saying, well, we don't need to do a research. This is my film, and this is how women gamers are, and this is the way it is, and that we female gamers are what do you call it? We're just like the guys, or maybe even better, but just prettier, and it's just wrong, right?
It's actually old news, Rudy.
Yes.
Women gamers have been around a long time. They're not brought to the scene. But, let's say, for instance, me, I've been a hardcore gamer since I was a kid. I've had a few other female girls that I used to game with and trade my games with and stuff like that. We've been around a long time.
Mm-hmm. And I never said anything about, women shouldn't be a part of gaming the other night in my show. That's a complete fucking lie, and people are lying, This one idiot that only plays Tetris, who's a complete nerd, that he's lucky me and him have never met face to face the way that he acts. He tells me I'm a stalker. He tells me that I go after women and all this stuff. Really? I'm the one who's stalking people? 46% or 43% of gaming are women. So don't tell me it's fucking unequal. It's almost half.
Well, let me just say this. It doesn't a female have let's just say doesn't have the let's say the how to say how can I do this correctly? Isn't the female just like a male, and the male and the female, they both have two hands, they both have eyes? You get what I mean, right?
Well, yeah. Well, according to them, I guess it's so spectacular because the female of the game, and it's supposed to be such a big, important part of history. As far as I'm concerned, it's not. It's everybody's part of history.
Yes.
If you guys are gamers, you're gamers. I don't look at Kimberly as a female gamer. I look at Kimberly as a friggin' hardcore gamer. I mean, yeah, I've said comments, wow, she's really a great female gamer. It comes out of your mouth because that's all you hear from these assholes. A female gamer. But really, she's just like us. She's just a gamer.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
I'm a gamer, and I collect. I love anime. I love cartoons. Pretty much the same type of thing that any other gamer would love.
Right.
I have tons of gamer friends, male and female. Yes.
Right, actually do it, though. That's the difference. A lot of people claim they do these things and take these pictures or show these systems and stuff when really they're not theirs. And half the time, not only they're not theirs, it's stuff that they weren't even into last year or 3 years ago. Ever since the King of Kong hype, all these women started to come into play. And I'm not bashing all women. I want to make it clear. All these new females started to come into the scene. It wasn't like that before. Everybody was, as far as I'm concerned, when I came into the scene in 2002, it wasn't about female and male gamers. It was about gamers. And we all gamed. And I met plenty of females at these expos out here in Vegas. And there was plenty of women. As a matter of fact, I think there was more women of interest than there were of men at some of these expos, certain times of the year. So it's stupid and idiotic to say this is something that needs to be made because of history. It's not history. It's history because everybody games. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. The hype, though, is wrong. They need to stop, generalizing it. It's the same thing as they're saying about me when I talk about feminism and feminists. You want to call me a sexist? Fine, I'm not, but go right ahead.
Okay.
But they're being just as sexist. They're being just as sexist what they're doing.
Well, let me just say this. Like I said, it does, it basically don't matter if it's a female or male, because they both have a brain, right? They both have hands, legs, and all that. Of course, the only thing different is the gender.
And I think some females actually can do better than some males in gaming, because you guys have a different type of temperament than we do. You guys have a different type of
patience.
Different types of nerves and patience. I know for a fact, even sitting next to people where I'm gaming in public, somebody that's in competition with me, that could be some of the reasons why I've lost to my friend Stephanie McKeenan, because, she was more relaxed than I was when we played Space Invaders. Now, granted, she kicked my ass. She beat the shit out of me. She won fair and square. I'm just saying that plays a factor. So people say, well, it's not equal and all this bull fucking shit. It's more than equal, number one. And number two, a lot of women, and Kimberly has agreed with me on this before, they go around flashing themselves and looking for attention and everything and want to be part of the scene and everything, and then when they get called sexy or hot or somebody puts them down, now everybody's fucking sexist. Every man's a pig.
Well,
what kind of bullshit is that?
Well, let me just say this. Okay, let me say this. If, like an example, if let's say a female gamer, let's just say an average, I don't want to say average, let's just say a female gamer, let's say she hit publicity, right? She made it big. And
right.
Then, and all of a sudden, what's going to happen is they're going to transform her in a way they feel that it should be fit to a public audience. Well, you know what, let's put on makeup, let's change her hair. And let's say her attire is not like that when she's a gamer. Let's just say that, right? So they go ahead and start glittering her. And then, what I'm saying, oh, no, you know what, you're going to have a big bust and that. So let's just make you look like you have a big bust and all. No, I'm being serious. Oh, and I want you to bite onto the controller wire, or I want you to pose like this, that way you look like, you're not just a gamer, you're a hot gamer, to drive attention. Because see, also in the male's perspective, you're going to give a thought. If a woman is, let's just say, flashing a controller or something like that, or looking all pretty, and that's not actually the way she is, of course, it's actually the male may actually think more into a sexual part instead of the gaming part, which is supposed to be about the gaming, not about about her like that. And a lot of that causes conflicts. Let's say modeling, you know what I mean, because of the hype, the gaming era that we're in now, the retro spec that a woman is, well, you know what, let me go ahead and dress up like a gamer, but I'm gonna do it sexy, and I'm not even an actual gamer, so I could get some kind of publicity. You know what I mean? And then, oh, you know what? Oh, you look pretty and adorable or whatever. So let's just, go ahead and what do you call it? Let's put you into something, that represents gaming. And they're not even gamers. So this happens a lot, What do you say about, and not like trying to, not to be saying things about sexist or nothing like that. I'm just being realistic. I mean, you put in, like I said, people know exactly what I'm talking about. People know what I'm talking about. If a woman is a gamer, and let's just say her attire is not like, she's just like this, is dressed up normal, but you change her up to something else, and she's being put like something else, it's gonna make people say, oh, well, it's probably just I don't like to use these words, but I just want to be realistic. They're gonna say, oh, that's just a slut or something like that. I don't like using those words like that, but I'm just trying to be realistic in let's say in a male's perspective, and some of them, I don't know about all of them, I'm just saying in the general masses. And it could conflict, just say, why are they talking about me? I'm an actual gamer. Well, because they changed you, they put you in that. And then let's just say when they don't put an actual female gamer in the scene, and it's just posing like a female gamer, and that's also a lie. What happens is I think what happened, they want to use the female audience probably directed to an example in this film, like saying, well, the women are just as good or better in the film. It's like saying that, or that we're a rare breed, but really the women are not just a rare breed. They always have been female gamer women. It's maybe not talked about as much, maybe not like that, but they've always been around. Like they said, it's not it's old news. Like Kimberly said, it's old news, and there's a lot of conflict to that. I think a woman and females are just the same. You you probably could change the mind, put the brain of a male into a female's body. I'm pretty sure it won't even make a difference because it's a gamer, or vice versa. You get what I mean, right? Go ahead.
It's the same concept as other things that I don't agree with, right? We're all equal, right?
Right.
I don't get upset when I see a show where there's 20 black people in it and there's one white guy. And nobody should get upset when there's 20 white guys and one black person in a show either, and there's no reason for people to say, well, one person has it more equal than the other. That shit has to stop. We've come a long way in this country, and I bring this up because I'm tired of hearing about that too. And I've even spoke with Kimberly about this, if there's, I don't have a problem with there being, BET or Black Stars or whatever, but if I was to say, well, where's wet TV, there would be a lawsuit. And Kimberly knows I'm right. It's just the way it is. I don't care, though. It doesn't bother me. Right. But some people it bothers. And it needs to stop. You know, it's like that whole thing with that stupid thing with, the Clippers. It was wrong what he said. It was disgusting. You know what? Should he be banned for life? I don't think so. Should he be fined $2.5 million? No. And should his girlfriend go to jail? Absolutely, because she posted a private conversation. So, again, it doesn't make it right what he did, but privacy is privacy. He has a right to his own opinion. He's an 80-year-old man. You know, he was brought up in different times. I don't agree with him. I don't think it's right what he did, but, it's made national news. And now the most biggest racist in the world is involved. Al Sharpton? Really? Have you ever heard what he said about people?
It's what I think as well. I think sometimes also it's just it's some kind of a stunt, some publicity stunt, or things just to drive up hype.
It could be. It could be. I don't know about this one. This one, when Kimberly and I were talking about it, I thought the same thing. But now that it's all over the news and everything, and I see people talking, I don't think it's a publicity stunt anymore. But I don't know.
Getting to the document of the film, the thing is that I strongly feel that people should that there should be more people in it, and not that you have to pay like $10,000 to get like I said, an ending credit, I believe, an executive credit or something.
It was $10,000, and some guy who doesn't get enough Wu-Tang, and I know who he is. I won't mention his name. He's donated to everybody because he's just rich and has nothing better to do with his money. And people go around schnoozing him for big money. You know, I've asked people for a couple $100s for my Splatterhouse board, things like that, and people have helped me out and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've never ever asked for that kind of money. And to have somebody, give you $10,000 and be able to manipulate you like that is pretty pathetic. Yeah, he'll be an executive producer. Here's the thing, though. I want the public to know why they should not put any money into this movie.
Why?
They're going to make this movie regardless, with or without a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is for their own pockets, so they don't have to dig into their pockets to make the film, which is fucking totally disgusting, because how were movies made before Kickstarter? And I'm not bashing all Kickstarters. If a Kickstarter is something that helps somebody's life or health, or something that makes you progress in something, or something that's good for your household, I get that. But for films, video games and stuff, I don't agree with that. I don't. I think that there was a way that you get funding before these Kickstarters. And, all these documentaries, they're not documentaries when they don't have all the facts in them.
Yes, it has to have, yes, it has, sorry to stop you there. I mean, you're right. It has to have the facts, and you have to do a thorough research. Because somebody that knows is going to call you out. It's going to poke through it. You know what I mean? It's like politics. Someone out there is going to have their 2 cents to say something about it. And if you're not careful and they're actually true over it, they're going to mess it up. They're going to tell you.
I supported that NES club and got used by this idiot, that produced it. He used me to get his Kickstarter to fund, which barely funded. He's a scam artist, and that's what this other guy is doing, the same thing. He's done it with several other documentaries. Who was he before that? Everybody, ever since the King of Kong, jumping off all these docs. I want to do a doc. I want to do a doc. I want to do a doc.
You have a point there.
They're not docs. They're films. They're not docs. They're garbage, low-budget films. They're not documentaries.
Usually when you're making real documentaries, now I don't want to say real because that's not wrong. When you're making a documentary of anything, be sure you include all thorough facts and research. Just like a person, like I said, in a wartime, a journalist is inputting information on what's happening. You know what I mean? You want to get all the facts and information because someone out there is going to poke a hole in it. And it's going to tell you, hey, this is not right, or you got it wrong, or something.
I do it every day.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the thing is, if I was to make, well, now that I see this more like a film than a documentary, if I was to make this film, I would do a thorough research, find out all the female gamers, ones that are really well known, some that are outside of America as well, on all parts of the world.
Right, not just chosen ones because you like them, like these 2 cohabitors here, out here in Vegas that are not professional gamers, know nothing about gaming, and didn't even come into the scene until the last year or 2. Same thing with Splatterhussy. She came into the scene last year and a half ago.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to include, a few, if you are going to include a few, best be sure to include very elite ones, at least worthy. You know, if you wanna if you're not too sure on who to add and you think are gamers, then you know what, might as well add a lot of people. That way you could secure it and show that's fact, and you could say, you know what, that I'm sorry that if I didn't include everyone else that I would forgot. You know, don't make money off of people that, you know, that are actual gamers. They want to get in, but they have to pay for it, like a sample, but still not even going to be part of the cast. And you don't even, and also you have people that are not even females in it. You know, they're not even females. So how does that? Oh well, they're just going to talk about it. You know, the starring people. You
exactly. Mr. Little Isaiah Triforce does not belong in the film. And of course, ironically, his girlfriend's in the film as well. Go figure. You know, so there you go, right there. That's a shoo-in. You know,
the thing is, Rudy, is that you just can't do that. You just can't. There's too many female gamers out there that are worthy for it. You know, my wife is one of the strongly part of that. You know, she's actually worthy of it. I don't like to, you know, just to say that I did this just to add my wife in it. No, I mean, my wife is also contributes to that. I mean, she's been in games like Super Contra and Contra on the arcade with no death, mind you, and one of them at the hardest settings, and that was Contra, no death, and then she did that on Nintendo.
And Kat Delightia, one of the writers for this low budget film, you know, used to bash the star of the film, Miss Little Red Riding Hood, the person that's starring in the film, Miss SOCOM, who's the star supposedly. She bashed her up and down. Yet now they're working together. Like, seriously? I mean, notice all the people that have caused trouble are working together, and that's what's really scary. And I can't believe that some of the people that are my good friends, well, I think that were my good friends, shame on them for joining the cast of this film. And I'm going to laugh when it fails miserably.
Well,
I will not support it.
Well, the thing, Rudy, is this. Let me tell you this. As an experienced person, you know, that I have talked to higher ups and people with, you know, the companies and also celebrities. By my own experience, I could tell you this legitimately in my own experience. You know, is basically the people who you know, the hookups, the connections, what they can do for you, what you could do for them. You know,
yeah, I know that.
Just like Hollywood, this is very real, even in the gaming world. I mean, what can you do for me before I could do something for you, or vice versa? You know, it is like that. It really is like that. It's not really about the skills or anything else. It's the people you know. You know, I could tell you that by my own personal experience. Sadly to say, it's like this. I don't like to say these things. It's being real. Oh, you want to climb on the top of the ladder? You want to be successful? And this is scary to tell you this. This is very scary. All right, you know what? You want to be successful? Suck my dick. You know, and I'll help you get there. I don't like to talk like that. I'm just trying to tell you that in an aspect of reality.
Well, it's the truth. It sounds bad, but you gotta tell it like it is.
It's
you know
telling
what I'm
you
saying?
like it is.
It's what gaming has come down to. Nothing is about gaming anymore. The skills, the hard work that these people put into these games, is not even about that no more. You know what I mean?
Let's take a look at the cast for a minute. I'll try not to say real
names. Let me finish first before you say the cast. Hold on.
Yeah,
sorry,
that'll be fine.
Okay. No, like I said, I don't like to use those blunt words like that. It's just that's how I strongly feel how it is. Even in politics and stuff like that, you know, I don't want to jump to any of government stuff like that. But in stuff like that, it's like that. Hollywood. I don't know, politics of government or anything, and now it's hitting gaming as well. And like I said, you can't just do that. Do a thorough research. Find the people that are worthy for the title. Don't just add a few people and expect to get, and then all of a sudden you're gonna sucker up people, get money, and say, well, this is what it is. This is about that. No. That it just don't work. I mean, the King of Kong was more of a film, not a real documentary, because I know some actual information. Let me tell you something here. I don't know. This may be a concern after I say this to a lot. But let me just tell you a little sneak peek on actual fact, the information. Some info. when I talked to Steve Weeble, in person, Weeby, Weeby, I talked to him and I had a chat. We're talking, we're all cool, and he says he's gotta go. I'll go where? Because he says he's gotta, because he has to do what he was, what he's told to do. I'll go. I think I told him why. Because he has to. He can't talk to me too much, for too long, because he's gotta do what he has to do. I guess because they're paying him. It's called. Let me tell you this, people. You think it's people like celebrities and all that. They have it made like they feel like they're the kings or queens of themselves. But actually, what happens a lot as well is they become the bitch to someone else. You know what I mean? They can't do what they want. They can't do this and that. There's an ugly side to it. He had to answer to somebody else. He couldn't make his own time or do his own thing. He was getting paid for something. I guess, Steve. When I met supposedly the bad guy, Billy Mitchell, he actually was the one that talked to me the most, the nicest person. He even introduced me to Walter Day. He was like the nicest guy. It was all an act, just to show you. That's not a documentary. That is a movie, just to point you out and the information that I know based on my own, information, because I dealt my own experience. That lots of times in these so-called documentaries or acts, like I said, Billy Mitchell was one of the nicest people I have met. He was not rude to me. He actually talked to me. Steve Weevy or Weebo, whatever. He didn't even have time to talk to me, or not really talk to me, because he had to go. We had a talk, but it's like he had to go. I guess maybe it will degrade his credibility. I don't know, but he said it's because he has to do it. He's being paid for it. So it's not even about the gaming. He's getting paid for it to be there and all that. That's what I'm trying to point it out. It's not about gaming no more. It's more like some kind of a circus, almost like just to like a show. Basically, it's not like Ferretti said. It is not a real documentary. It is a film, a show. Because once you meet the actual people, and do research, some of them could be good, some of them could be bad. Billy Mitchell was a good person. He talked to me. We've had a good discussion. I thanked him, and they said farewell, and he was not a bad person as the film portrayed him as that. The thing is, also want to point out is they do this to make the documentary seem interesting. They want to have like a bad guy and a good guy or something, but you got to know that you got to tell yourself, is this for reals, or is this just a film? I mean, but you got to understand, there's a camera running, so they're gonna behave in a certain way. If they're being a camera's on them, they're going to behave in a certain way because they were directed to behave that way. So they're not going to be themselves, obviously. But that's what I'm trying to say is that please, people that make documentaries, please do your research. Don't just call it a documentary if you don't get all the facts. I'm not trying to bash, any people that make documentaries. I have my own experience to that. What do you call it? RJ, he's a skilled gamer. He's taught, he's always been fighting for his rights. He's been looked wrong and looked as an enemy or a bad guy to many. But in a personally note, as I've been friends with him in the days that they were hard. People were hard on him. I try to help, whatever I can. And then not be looked as a bad guy because of that. Also want to point out you shouldn't have favoritism. If you are friends with a friend that is an enemy to a friend or whatever, and you want to kick them out or nothing, that's just wrong. Like from your Facebook or your inner circle and all that. I mean, that's just wrong. You just don't do that. You just don't do that. I seem like I'm getting off topic on here.
And even friends who's never been friends gets blocked.
Right, exactly. RJ, let me tell you this, people. RJ may seem like the Billy Mitchell kind of person to people. Like he's a bad guy, but he's not. He stands for what he believes and represents. Sometimes it's just a misunderstanding, or maybe the context of it is probably in another way. That it's how do you say? Maybe RJ's context, the meaning could be something else, and not like that. The way a lot of people want to portray it, like he was saying that he was a sexist, like he was, like that, like a stalker and all that. No,
I didn't say I condone rape and all that bullshit.
Right? He didn't do that. He didn't say that. He did not say that. that you.
Can I say something? That's another reason why nobody should support this No Princess Castle garbage project, and I'll tell you why. The person that's in there, Splatterhussy, you're referring to, I guarantee you they're not going to tell the true story of how she obtained the so-called world record on Splatterhouse. They will change it around to make it look like she only got it from one person. They'll never mention me, which right there takes away from the true documentary and true history of what really happened.
Yeah, see, that's
just, you know.
Right, and like it's like yes, you gotta come out with the actual facts. Do not call it a documentary if it's not actuality. Do not call it that. Call it a film if it's going to be a show, because that really is more of a show. If you're not going to put in all the facts, journalism and stuff, things like that should be done the way it is. Don't censor it or don't put it out. I mean, like example, the way we're talking, we're not scripted. We're talking, the way we're talking free. We're not talking out of a paper or nothing like that. We're talking how we actually feel over this, and
no
another
scripts.
Right, no scripts. This is the original, legitly way of saying it. Sometimes you could slip up, say a mistake, and no, it doesn't matter. You don't just erase it. Just let it flow normally. I want to point out. Go ahead, Kimberly. What were you gonna say? You were saying something.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you that the script part.
Right, and I want to, RJ, can you please point out other female gamers that are worthy for the title to be in the film?
Well, there's a lot of people that are worthy. I'm not going to mention their names on camera because I didn't get their permission, but I can tell you that looking at the cast, the only people I know of in this whole cast, there's like 2 or 3 people, not even, that are noteworthy in this cast. Other than that, I don't know these people. I don't care that somebody was a programmer or claims to be a gamer or a collector that's not. I've never heard of these people before. A lot of these people definitely weren't around before. And now that they add some celebrity today using her, that's another thing. They use people. They think now they're just going to, hit this goal. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Right. It doesn't work that way. You cannot use a selective method. I mean, if you like example, how would I point this? If let's just say, let me put it in this scenario. Let's say in a war, when a person, let's say the soldiers died for their country, a lot of soldiers were dead and all that, and they're going to give credit to the example to the captain, which he wasn't even there. Oh well, good job on your tactic, the captain. And he doesn't mention the names, and he only gets the credibility to himself. He's not going to tell you the actuality. He's not going to tell you that he wasn't there to fight with them. An example, right?
I need to interject because there's something I just realized. Number one, I said this stupid producer, he never backed a Kickstarter. Okay. Well, what he did was, after hearing me say this on my other show, now he just backed a Kickstarter that just funded 2 days ago, so probably put $1 towards it. Don't be fooled, guys. Just because somebody backed a Kickstarter does not mean they put thousands of dollars towards it. So again, he's asking for all your money, and okay, he backed a Kickstarter, so tomorrow he may have backed 10 of them with $1 each. Okay, so now he looks like he has credibility. Do not be fooled, because he had 0 up until last week, and that I can prove.
Okay, well, just what I was trying to say as well is that example is if the captain gets the credit and it won't tell you the truth. Well, you know what? If it wasn't for my tactical skills and stuff, that wouldn't happen. And it tells you that in the actuality he wasn't there to fight the war. It's gonna make him look like a coward. Am I correct?
He is a coward.
Right, because he wasn't there. Correct. So he's not gonna tell you the actuality. He's gonna give himself credit. Of
course, they're doing a falsified documentary that doesn't even have the real information in it.
Correct.
Because if there was real information, like they're putting Splatterhussy in there, they should put all 3 of us Splatterhouse players in there, not just one.
Yeah, yes.
And that's what I'm saying. There's plenty of great gamers out there that need to be in the film. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I understand the hype with the women doing things great in gaming. That's great, but there's a lot of people that have done a lot of great things in gaming that has yet to even show up on the podium. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't have no problem with no one. I don't have no beef with anybody. But if you're gonna do a documentary about gamers, put real gamers in there. Put gamers in there who has done something for gaming. You know what I mean?
And actually been around the scene, not somebody who just came in 1 year or 3 years or
right.
couple years prior to, now or whatever. I mean, come on.
No, if you're gonna base it on retro gamers, we need to see retro gamers. We need to see people who has been in the industry for more than 20 years or even for 30 years. You know what I mean? We want to see faces. We want to see real gamers. A lot of these people that I see on here I've never seen in my life. I'm like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
Yep.
And who's this?
Pat Delighty and Cedric Snot Pearson have not been around for the years that they claim. It's a total lie. They're totally fraudulent. Go look at the blogs, guys. Go look at the comments from these people and how they treat people. Go see for yourself. I mean, you're going to support something like this? Well, give me a break.
The thing, the thing is as well, is I feel, in my own personally, I strongly feel that that a few people, what do you call it? I haven't permission to say their name. I feel they strongly deserve to be in it. And now, let me say that if they were in it, the people that I strongly for that deserve to be in it, if they were in it, I would not have came up with this discussion. But since they were not in it, that this is the reason. This is one of the majority reasons why I'm debating over this. This film.
Of course.
It is absolutely a big lie. It is a big lie. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. I mean, you got too many female gamers that are worthy for it to be in it, and you're only selecting, so that becomes a lie. This is my film. I could make it however I want. Well, yeah, of course you can make it however you want, but when the actuality comes out, be prepared for it. You know what I mean? Be prepared for it. Of course, because you're just jealous. Maybe that's why you're making this hate. I'm not trying to hate. I want to point out. I'm disappointed, not hate. I'm actually disappointed that people that should have been included were not included. That is a very big disappointment. My wife, Kimberly S. Chavez, she deserved as well to be in there. She strongly deserved, but they did not interview her or anything. Mind you, I didn't do that just because to talk to you about my wife. I'm just adding her to show you that she deserved to be in it as well. For her skills and all that. I want to say this. I want that princess bullshit film. The princess bullshit in the castle is more like it. What do you call it? I want you to show me a female gamer that can do the exact same thing as my wife. If she can beat Super Contra and the NES, I'm not saying that she has to do for the arcade, but if she could beat that NES, then that means you did do your research. But I want to see one of them showing an actual gameplay footage of their skill on that, and I want to see it. If you show me that, I will not bring any further discussion anymore to this. This will be probably part 1 of this.
What's even more pathetic too? Ourcade, which is a third party wannabe world record site. They have the nerve to claim that Splatterhussy and Anthony have these world records on Splatterhouse, but their last 2 records. Doc Mack, the owner of Galloping Ghosts, said he didn't know they were coming into play. Second, they accepted a photograph and then have the nerve to go through Wikipedia to change the settings and allow Ourcade to take that score without proof. Photograph? What is this, 1976?
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Yep. Yeah, but they lie, though, on their site and tell others like me and you and try to lie and say, oh, no, we verified it. We were there and stuff, or we verified it via satellite or whatever. It's a lie, because I talked to Doc Mack in the private conversation. I could post it, proving that that's not true. So the last 2 scores that are in our arcade for Splatterhouse weren't even done by video. They're pictures. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe a 5-second or 10-second video showing somebody's final score.
Well,
that's just ridiculous.
You know that. Let me say this. What can we as gamers, what can we do to correct this? Or do we bother to do nothing at all and let it go about and go about our gaming ways? Or should we do as gamers? I'm talking about every one of us. What should we just, or do something about it and fight the lies? Has gaming become politics in some form already? Has it driven to politics? Has it became so that they're directed into the gaming scene now? Now gaming scene is not even for fun. It is about seriousness. Yes, of course, you got the high scores and all the seriousness, but all the fun factor, all the fun things that it was all about gaming is now disappearing into some kind of like, oh, you're a noob, or I'm better than you, or this and that. What I don't understand how it's become to this point.
Nobody wants to do anything legitimately today.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to understand to do runs and
exactly. They want to make up stories, pretend they've been around since before they've been, which is a lie. Say they've done accomplishments they've done, and also claim that they never did things that they did that were actually bad as well. Which I've posted not only blogs, but on the new TG site, about things that have been done to me with dates, proof. It's even on my fan page. People are closed-minded and very dumb. It's like, you want to be part of the scene, but you don't even want to see what the history is. Get off your ass and go read the blogs and go read, the posts. There's a reason that they're there, and there's a reason why these former people that supposedly worked for the companies, refs, whatever, staff members are trying to cover it up because they don't want to take the heat for what they do wrong. They're narcissistic and they can do no wrong. It's sick.
Well, Kimberly, what do you think of that? What do you think of what can we do to help this? To get the actual facts. What can we do to tell the world to make it legit? What can we do as gamers? What can we do? What do you think we could do?
Well, actually, we're making a good start now with doing this video and having a conversation, which we know everybody's going to hear.
And they'll try to have it taken down. It'll be probably down in 48 hours.
Exactly. Well, I'm definitely for female gamers, male gamers. You know what I mean? I conversate with them all. I'm actually a representative of all female gamers and all male gamers in a whole. You know what I mean? And I think that, a lot of us real gamers that really do everything legitimately and by our skill and by our passion and by what we love, which is classic gaming or any type of gaming for that matter. I just think we need to be able to voice our opinion.
Yes.
We're gonna put stuff up. Don't take it down. Everybody has a right to their own opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And
everybody has a right to it.
Right, and I just want to ask the audience, because I know we're going to close out soon. I just want to make this clear really quick. Ask yourself, people, do you want to work with people or support people with money that have stolen ideas from other people, that have used others to gain their own financial gain? Do you want to work with people or support people that have hurt gamers in the scene, that have lied to get further? Do you want to work with people that make up stories and false accusations and libel and slander, real libel and slander, not what people claim that I do? I just tell the facts. Do you really want to work with people like that or support people like that? Do you want to give them a fucking dime? That's on you, but you know what? I hope you sleep well at night if you do something stupid like that, because I won't be giving them nothing.
Well, let me say this. That we didn't create this video to bash on anyone or to bash on anything or anyone really. If you might say it's, I don't know if you want to call it bashing on the princess, film, but we're not bashing. We're voicing our opinions that what do you call it, that something is wrong, which was wrong because we already explained to you why it was wrong, and we have Rudy to told you his side. We have Kimberly that told you in her side, and I told you in my side and what we think about it. Just to know that if if people they start to troll and say bad things about us, you are representing that you are the corrupted. You are the corrupted, and you only favor to the people that you like, and that's all that you are. You only favoritism to the people you like because you're hanging to in your inner circle with those people. We are kind people, and we respect all gamers. If you go,
I'm definitely. I'm sorry, Rudy,
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you. I am definitely one that's for all gamers, male and female. Anyone that has the passion for games. Anyone who wants to share, you know what I'm saying? I'm down with any gamer, you know what I'm saying? I want to represent all gamers. I want to give everybody. If it was my film, I would include gamers that have passion. I would include gamers that collect. I would include gamers that's been in the industry for a long time. If I'm going to represent retro gaming, I'm going to have retro gamers in my film to tell their story, to tell their side, how they got into gaming, what drive them to gaming, what's their favorite game, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Bring all of the gamers to the scene. This is about us. This is about the gamers. This is not about the posers. This is not about the ones that claim they're doing records and they're not. This is about the people that put forth the hard work to do the records and the ones that have passion for the game. That's what it should be about.
Well said.
And that's my side on that.
That's very well said. Very well said. That is right. Knock off all this movie fake documentary hype stunts and all. Knock it off. We are gamers. We are not movie star celebrities.
Exactly. Instead of creating these stupid documentaries that mean absolutely nothing, why not create leagues and teams so we can all game and get, maybe get paid for what we do instead of just creating, biased, falsified documentaries.
Right. I mean, and if you're going to make a star out of something, be sure you include the stars of all gamers. Then make every gamer out there a star. Don't be selective. It's very biased. Don't be selective. Why don't you represent all gamers? That what that means? That means either you put all the names of the gamers you can, respectively, if you can. Of course, it's gonna be a lot of them if you try. Or you don't select the people. You could put showing the masses of gamers and not just be selecting only those. I mean, it's like trying to say you want to feed only this amount of people, but you can't feed the rest. They're not going to be worthy for it. Or I can't help. Oh well, you know what? I can't help you if you have this cancer or something because there's someone else that needs that help more than you do. Like I said, don't select. Don't be being biased in that. Don't just get everyone or don't do it at all. Knock it off. I'm being serious. Knock it off.
Yep.
Not trying to be rude or nothing. I'm not trying to, not trying to troll or degrade anything. The film. Let me just say this. I hope the film fails strongly. I strongly hope the film fails to its ground, underneath 6 foot underground, however you want to say it. That's how it failed, like a blast, a bomb.
The other film failed, Video Craze. Are you kidding me?
Well, the thing is, what I say, I'm saying this by film is, I hope it fails because you did not include everyone else that are worthy. You did not include them. Since you did not include them, I hope it falls to the ground as hard as it can. It's a fraud. It's a lie. That is not fair for everyone else. It is not fair. Stop it. And let me say that those that are they feel kind-hearted and all that. Look, I don't want you to feel that we're bad guys or anything, but you gotta look at the actuality. You have to look at the actuality. Look at it. Make some research. See what's going on. Look at it. It's not about just a pretty face with makeup, and posing or showing, or that they have a company or something like that. It's not like that. It's not supposed to be like that. Contribute everyone. Don't just select.
I wouldn't even. There's not. It's not like everybody that is part of that cast really has that many looks. There's a few. I mean, let's be realistic here.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean, right, RJ? I mean, don't just select a lot more other people, ugly or not. I don't want to say it like that. Right? Ugly or not, whatever. Shoot, you know what? I'll tell you something. Maybe some of them damn ugly ass female gamers are actually the best ones. Who knows, right? I mean, I'm just saying that out of just being funny, really. Wow. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to be. I was just trying to be funny. And no, it's not. I'm not trying to stereotype that the best gamers are fat chicks and all that. No, of course not. That's just a stereotype on the internet, or.
Well, I guess I'd be fat.
Well, there is only a couple in the whole film, by the way.
Oh, knock it off, RJ. well, okay. Well, the thing is this. Females, males, it don't matter. We all do the same. There's female cops. There's male cops and firemen. I'm sure there's fire women, I guess, but they won't be called fire women. There's still firemen, but they're females.
Exactly.
It don't matter. It don't matter. There is no myth or nothing. Female gamers have always been around. It has always been around. Someone might have been shy about it. They don't share it. Let me because I know it's getting already really.
Yeah, I mean, I've said what I've had to say. I think we're pretty much where we need to be.
Well, before we cut, I want to just say this, Kimberly. What do you think that a female should get all giggity and and feel like, let's say, all awesome and everything because she's a gamer? The attention. What do you think of that? Do you think that's causing an issue?
I'm gonna repeat that again, Rudy.
I'm saying. Do you think it's just like say it's causing an issue for females that just want to pose like they're female gamers? They're not actual females, but they have they look pretty and they have the looks that but they're not actual females. Do you think that's going to be an issue?
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. A natural female gamer is not going to be like that. They're just basically just posing to be as a gamer. They're not real gamers. They're just posers. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. A real female gamer is going to be holding a controller in her hand, and she's going to be gaming entirely every day. You know what I mean? Like pretty much I used to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then, not all female gamers that are hardcore or ugly or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We just go about our life in a different way, like any type of gamer, like the male gamer. We game entirely every day. We find our favorite game, and we stay in front of that TV for 24 hours, sometimes 12 hours a day. And that's what I used to do. I'll go and get me some snacks. If I want to do a marathon run or a match, I'll stay in front of that TV all day long, and I'll get all sweaty. You know what I mean?
Damn, woman, you didn't even take a shower?
Yeah, hey, that's the life of a female gamer. That's the life of a gamer.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you make right. I mean, hey, if she is hardcore, and she don't want to shower until she, or anything until she's done.
Let's just be realistic. No female gamer or gamer for that matter is going to be in front of a TV, and they're not going to look, have makeup on and stuff like that. We're going to be pretty much drenched in sweat. You know what I mean? For the intensity of the matches, we're trying to kick ass. That's our main thing on the game. Me, when I'm doing a match on either Halo or Gears of War or whatever competition that I'm in, my main objective is winning.
So you're telling me that you don't have lipstick, eyeshadow, and glitter
when I go out, let's say I go out on a date or if I'm going out with a man, I'm going to put on some makeup and I'm going to look my best. But when I'm gaming, I don't give a fuck how I look.
So it's
right.
So you're saying in the real world it ain't like that. There's not gonna be a female with lipstick and makeup and glitter and look so attractive. And there's no one actually.
They're models. They're models, not gamers.
So it's just a stereotype on the internet.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like you said, they're gonna be drenched, sweaty, and smelly.
Tell you the truth, I don't wear a lot of makeup. You know what I mean? I wear lipstick, I'll wear some powder, and that's it. I have natural beauty. I don't need makeup. But when it comes to gaming, that's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm going to let my skills do the talking. Right. That's the real life of a gamer.
Right.
I'm gonna opt out of here. I've said what I've had to say. You guys take it from here, and then once you guys are all set, we'll get this up, and I'll start sharing it everywhere and letting people know what's going on.
Oh, well actually,
right.
just take a minute, real quick. A minute.
Okay.
I want to say, I want to thank you for, to being our guest, in this debate on this film. No Princess in the Castle, and I appreciate it for your time, and I hope that you will get recognized in the future, for what you truly are, and not the negatively that you're looked as.
It's okay. I do well just fine by myself. I'm getting plenty of publicity and plenty of hatred, and it's working out just fine for me. And obviously I'm doing something right, so it's all good.
Well, we need more representation of real gamers.
Yes.
We need more of them.
Yes, we need.
I know. Unfortunately, though, with all these assholes now in the industry, you gotta kind of do your own thing. That's the problem.
And me and my wife Kimberly want to thank you for like I said, for your time, and I strongly look forward to watching more of your videos and telling you how it is, and continue, to be original, to be real. Not don't cosmetic yourself to something else. And so we'll be closing this, and I want to tell the public that and I thank you for listening to us. And if you're mad or anything, just
too bad.
Well, that too.
And don't support this film.
And just say that don't look at us like bad guys. I want you to just think about this. Make research. Make research, and then tell yourself what's going. And see if it is legit or not. Make some research. And if you strongly feel that it's legit, then all the more power to you. If not, well, no. Well, then you know that you're just like us. We're we're fighting over it. Well, thank you everyone, and take care. And we're gonna see. We'll probably make part 2 of this soon. Probably.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, guys.
There's really not much more to say. We've pretty much done what we've had to do.
Okay, then this will be the last then said about it. All right, then we'll make that the end then. Okay,
right,
guys.
You guys can go take care of that, edit it, whatever, and just the end here where we're talking. And all right, let me know when it's up.
Okay, we'll do then. Thanks, Rudy.
Talk to you soon. All right,
Take care.
bye-bye.